y'all Friday through Sunday. You know, that's a different rotation. You never heard it like that before. But anyway, Friday through Sunday. Now it's Saturday, so now we back at it. We talking about that realness, what's been going on. Look at Wembanyama going crazy. Rory McIlroy, you know, in the PGA, the Masters have started down here in Augusta. You know, a lot of things have been real serious here lately. A lot of things have been real serious. The NBA playoffs about to start. They talking about different awards and things like this, and the chances of who might win a championship and who might get eliminated early and things like that. Come on now. It's getting real. We're going to narrow some stuff down for you. First round talk, beginning the NBA playoff talk. You know, Don Boy 718 got you. Matter of fact, let me twist the hat around today, man. Start off one of them ones. Let's get back to it. Let's get real right. Well, first of all, just to let y'all know, send them stars in on Facebook. Hit us up. Try to make sure that we get paid so we can do some things for the community, y'all. I mean, show that love. The New York Knicks are looking good. Last night, the Miami Heat, they played the Washington Wizards again, and they had another high score, 140 to 117, except that Bam Adebayo didn't get crazy this time around for no 83 points. You know what I mean? They closed this thing out here with normal scoring, and you see Bam Adebayo, he had 20 points, 11 rebounds with 8 assists, almost a triple-double. So he was going for another big game last night. But it was guys like Simon Fontecchio and Simon Fontecchio, excuse me, I don't want to say his name wrong. You know how folks feel about their name. And Pelly Lawson. They had 24 apiece, and they were going. High class? That's 4 players with 20 plus points in the same game. That tells you something. So if this Miami Heat team at 42 and 39, they're ready for a playoff run and for a goal. This could be something, because Miami are one of those teams where they happen to be in the playoff picture at number 10 in the play-in. They're going to be playing either the Charlotte Hornets, who crept their way into the play-in, and this could be dangerous. Provided Charlotte gets this win and LaMelo Ball and these dudes kicks Miami ass and goes on to the next round, they'll be playing the winner of 7 and 8, and then the winner of the Magic and the 76ers. So out of the Magic and 76ers, you have that winner. The winner of the Magic and 76ers will go on to play the Celtics at the number 7 seed, while the loser will go on to play the winner of Heat and Hornets. And I'm thinking right now, the way this picture is looking, if you take the Philadelphia 76ers down, they've been having problems throughout the year, and then they've been having little highlights where they've been okay, and they've been really mediocre for the whole season. Philadelphia, right? Joel Embiid, this has not been a golden year, an all-star year, or any plus for him. One thing we do know for sure is that Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe has been holding that team down. Along with, let's not forget, there's a great veteran over there that's been doing this thing, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer one day, Paul George. You know, also he's a USA Olympic champion. He's gotten the gold, and they have some pieces over there. With Philadelphia, Philadelphia doesn't have enough to make a championship run. However, they can make some disturbances, create a little turmoil right here in the playoffs if this squad and these guys that they have really start to get going. But I'm more worried about, you see, Orlando has been slipping lately, And this has not been the year for Franz Wagner and his brother Mo. But Wendell Carter Jr. and the rest of his teammates have been trying to fill in the voids for what's been missing and help out with Paolo Banchero and team. But I see Philadelphia winning this play-in game. It's only one game. That's the thing about it. One game, one loss, and you off. You out of here. Like the NCAA. So, all Philadelphia has to do is win one game against this Charlotte Hornets team. But the way that the way that the Orlando Magic is looking at it right now, these guys are trying to bring all that they can, pick up the pieces because they've been having a slow start. And Paolo Banchero, he's been having some good games, and then he had the injury, and things slowed down for Orlando. Orlando and the lights could have been what Cade Cunningham and the Pistons are, the way that they've excelled, because Orlando was moving pretty scary at one point, and then that whole pace just slowed down. Everything just trickled into the valley of the regular, like, you know what I mean? These dudes, they're not doing it. This is why they're number 7, but they're not way down at number 10. So Orlando does have some life. That I will give them. They are a playoff-bound team, and they can. This is gonna be a good battle. I can say that they can actually win against Philadelphia, but I want to give Philadelphia the edge and the overall because it'll come down to if Paolo Banchero is playing pretty strong. He's playing a pretty good game, and he's got Wendell Carter Jr. and the rest of these dudes down here in Orlando pretty inspired to go for that W. That's what they're going to get. They're going to get that W, and then they're going to move on to play the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics sitting at number 2. These guys are pretty comfortable. They took the number 2 seed in the East, mostly holding it down without Jason Tatum. He came back in the end here and just fits right back in with some bumps, and it wasn't just so easy, but they just made him go in there and be who he's supposed to be, you know, because Jaylen Brown, his boy, Jaylen Brown has been holding it down all year, and I think Jaylen Brown deserves to be definitely mentioned in that MVP running along with SGA and Wembanyama, because this man, Jaylen Brown, has been focused, he's been, you know, steady, and the Boston Celtics, I mean, they wouldn't be relevant right now still for Jason Tatum to come back to anything if it wasn't for this man, Jaylen Brown, holding it down. So I think that they're not going to have a problem going to the second round after playing a team like Orlando or Philadelphia. No matter which one it is, Boston has too much more firepower, for these guys, and too much of these guys can handle. Peyton Pritchard has been playing a certain way for the Boston Celtics. Peyton Pritchard, he had 21 and 10 the other day, 21 points and 10 assists, you know, off the bench to help him get that win. And we know that Peyton Pritchard's been around, he can play some defense, but first of all, like I said, in the play-in tournament, I'm going with Philadelphia to take out the Magic because Paul George is active now. The playoffs are about to begin. Some of these players, a lot of these players, they don't have all of that 82-game energy. They do not have it no more, or they just choose not to. They're like, yo, you know what? I'm much better than this. I want to play for the cake, play for the whole thing right there, go for that chip. But they don't want to drag through that 82-game season. Some of them get hurt. Some of them don't intentionally get hurt, or they intentionally don't want to play until the playoffs because they want every game that they play to count because they've been banged up so much trying to complete these seasons. And we know that it's a big thing to complete the season. Most times, a lot of players, they don't play 82 games throughout the year. Not like how they used to back in the day. So with that said, the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets are going at it. And I think with Miles Bridges And with Ball over here, LaMelo Ball, these guys are not playing games. And don't forget Brandon Miller. You know, these guys, they got something for Miami, and it's a reason why they've been sticking around and why they were number 9 right now. And they made it to the play-in. Because the Charlotte Hornets, these guys were looked at, you know, as like, okay, they're going to have another losing season. These guys wasn't going to go nowhere really much. But then they finished up with 43-38. They were over 500. So this Charlotte Hornets team, they want to bring the fight to Miami. Even though they only 1 game above them, they're going to bring the fight. The Milwaukee Bucks, sad to say, they did not make the playoffs. Tyrese Halliburton and this Indiana Pacers team, they didn't go nowhere because Halliburton had the same injury as Jason Tatum, but Jason Tatum rushed back, and we'll see if everything is all right or how this plays out. But Tyrese Halliburton is out, the Pacers didn't make it, and in relevance, the Charlotte Hornets, I think they're going to play like gold. Kobe White is going to step it up. Con Canupo, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges. These are some dangerous guys. Liam McNeely, they have a little squad to make a run. Pat Connaughton, you know, good defensive dude off the bench. He can help Trey Man. And Charlotte has been rolling lately. We know that part. But it's just where they've been with it. We know that the Hornets down there, they make Michael Jordan proud because he's one of the owners. He was the majority owner until he sold a good portion of that and then went into F1, which he's making a lot more money too right now. But it's gonna lay out to a real specifics. You're gonna see a lot of action being played. The Magic is going to go out there. I see what Banchero's going to do. I think that Banchero can carry them, provided that unless Paul George and Tyrese Maxey goes off for some numbers, Tyrese Maxey can give you 40 now. Tyrese Maxey can give you what you need, and Paul George is still there. He made it known the other day with that 40-point game with 39, something like that. This squad in Philadelphia, I truly believe they can take out Paolo Banchero and this Orlando Magic team. Even though Paolo Banchero on record is 1 game better, I would rock with Philadelphia on this one. They want to go to the playoffs, to bring the playoffs to Philadelphia. They need a couple of games to see them being relevant. Even though they're going to lose, they're not going to go far. Charlotte Hornets, taking out the Miami Heat, I could see that unless Bam Adebayo and these dudes down there in South Beach, they start getting ridiculous because we know that things can happen down there. We've seen them pull up some upsets. But I'm pretty sure that Bam Adebayo is going to give it all he got. This Miami Heat team, Pat Riley, this 1 game right here, they need to win. They win this, they get to go on and do what they got to do and wait for the loser of the Magic and the 76ers, which would probably be the Orlando Magic. And I think that the Charlotte Hornets line up pretty good against the Orlando Magic. So there will be Charlotte Hornets. I can see them getting the number 8 seed, going to the playoffs, and playing against a Detroit Pistons led by Kate Cunningham, with Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duran and these guys, and Tobias Harris, the way he's been, getting active lately. This could be problems for whoever they play in the first round. These guys are looking to prove that they're actually here and that they deserve the recognition and they wasn't a fluke at number 1. So second round would be inevitable to actually give these guys a lot more credit, make them look good, and you know, keep that flow going. However, the Charlotte Hornets are a dangerous team now. So Charlotte playing against Detroit could cause some problems and some upsets alone. Okay, because number one, LaMelo Ball can go off. Concanupo, you know what Concanupo can do. Talking about Cooper Flagg's former teammate. Which he's running for Rookie of the Year here right now too, so he has a lot to prove. He has stuff ready to go for him and things that he want to go out there and show the world that he can do. And Miles Bridges, you know what that man can do too. Very defensively, offensively. They have a unit in Charlotte, and it's not going to be an easy run for Detroit. This the playoffs, so I'm not just going to say Kate Cunningham going to be the only one playing hard or playing tough out here, because you're going to have guys from the other side of the field that's going to be doing what they do as well. So I see Detroit winning in five to six games. However, this would be after this play-in tournament goes down, and during the week when the first round actually does start, it should be Detroit and Charlotte. Unless Miami and Bam Adebayo starts to unleash the beast and go hand with everything that they got to get Charlotte out the way, because Bam Adebayo, that means there's going to be more work for Miles Bridges and for Concanupo, like that front court in Charlotte to deal with an attacking Bam that can really, be okay when it comes to the playoffs. Bam can definitely attack. He's not a scoring, he's not one of the top scorers or a big scorer guy, but even though he dropped that 83, however, I do see Detroit playing the Charlotte Hornets, because the Hornets are going to get past the Miami Heat, and then they're going to play the Orlando Magic, who should lose to the Philadelphia 76ers, provided Joel Embiid is still kind of hurt or mediocre this year. And the 76ers are going to go on and play the Boston Celtics. And so your seeding should be, after the play-in tournament, it should be Detroit playing Charlotte Hornets, Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Atlanta Hawks, the New York Knicks playing the Toronto Raptors, and the Boston Celtics playing against the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers, man, these guys been around for a while. But Joel Embiid, this hasn't been a year for him. It hasn't been a year for him. And on the West Coast now, it's like back-to-back reruns. Like, they had a good year last year, they was okay. But this year now, we're looking at how is Steph Curry and this team here, these Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry and these Golden State Warriors, they're still in the play-in tournament. If it wasn't for the play-in tournament, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors might have missed the playoffs for the last 5 years. Provided last year, with the exception of last year, I think they were okay. They was in a better position. But for the last 5 years, they would have been not looked at as one of them teams that's a threat. Or they kind of looked at that way right now. They're not the most biggest threat. People are more worried about teams like the Thunder, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Lakers. That whole 1 through 4 is kind of dangerous there in the West. Now, with the Warriors playing the Clippers, because the Warriors are at number 10, I don't think that they're the most worried about a Kawhi Leonard team where these folks who are 41-40 just happen to have a better record than them. Because Steph was out most of the season, but Steph doesn't really be getting injured the way a Kawhi Leonard does. So I would just easily say right here, as far as the Warriors go, the Warriors should have the manpower to get past the Clippers. Should be no talks about that. I see that even though the Dave gotten rid of guys like, Buddy Hield that they can use, Jonathan Kuminga, and the squad is there. Draymond Green still has some fight in him, and he's gonna go out there and be a dog and ball. To the end, he's gonna go out there and knock some people over, get physical, and try to, get that win any way he can to help the team out. I know they missing Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler being hurt. The Golden State Warriors can definitely use Jimmy at this time right now. Golden State, with Jimmy being hurt, Kristaps Porzingis, they're going to rely on him to step up. Brandon Kosminski, they're going to look for him to get busy. And Moses Moody, everybody's going to have to play their game, especially being, team basketball. And this is going to be needed. Steph Curry, his brother Seth Curry, they're not going to require so much from this guy. We know how that plays out. So we know it's going to be Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Brandon Podminski, and Gui Santos. Gui Santos, this is a chance for him to actually show up and prove his worth, along with Al Horford, the veteran. When they go to that Al Horford and Draymond Green combination and start getting physical and letting Steph just waste them shots, because they know they got two beasts down there to grab them boards. And even though this is not a young Al Horford, but him and Draymond Green, they still play just like it doesn't matter, Just like let's go. They're both NBA champions and they're going at it. So that front court is going to be lit and it's going to be on point. We respect that. So shout out to them for that. Also on the West Coast, look out for the Spurs to get crazy. First of all, let's finish the play-in talk. The Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker and this squad out here, they're not looking so dangerous, but they're not looking so horrible the way that people thought they was going to be looking so bad though too. Because Devin Booker and this team over here, these guys have been driving. They've been trying to make a point, but Devin Booker has stepped it up. And I think that against Scoot Henderson and Chauncey Billups and this Portland Trail Blazers team, the Portland Trail Blazers, they've been proving themselves as ready to go. They've been really at it this year. They made the number 8 seed this year. They're back in the playoffs, and Portland, they seem to be almost a better team. This one is almost a toss-up because with Phoenix, I'm trying to tell you, Phoenix Suns, we're gonna go to the fact that Dylan Brooks is over there. Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green from that trade that was made to get Kevin Durant from the Suns to the Houston Rockets. So you're gonna have Dylan Brooks, who's gonna come ready to play. He's like another version of Draymond Green in his own form. But everybody knows about Dylan Brooks, real physical dude. Grayson Allen. So they have some pieces here that can make a run, at least to get them out of the play-in tournament. Phoenix does have a chance, but I'm gonna say Scoot Henderson and these fellas with their squad, with Donovan Clingan and Denai Adija. Denai had a good game the other day, and he's had a few throughout the season. They've been consistent somehow to get him this far, and Drew Holiday being here, this is giving them the edge to surpass the Phoenix Suns. So I do think that in the end, that's what it's going to come down to. The Portland Trail Blazers winning and getting that number 7 seed against the San Antonio Spurs, and then you're going to have Steph Curry and these guys, Warriors and Thunder. Warriors and Thunder, because the Warriors are going to go over there and they're going to play the winner of the Warriors. After they win against the Clippers, they're going to play the loser, of Suns and Blazers, which will be the Suns, I believe. And it's going to be crazy from there. It's going to be crazy from there, y'all. Saturday morning, Don Boy 718. Who do you actually think is going to be the best player in the playoffs? While all this is taking place, not necessarily champion, but the best player in the playoffs. Because I'm thinking with the Thunder at number 1 and the Spurs at number 2, you're going to have some really incredible play. I wouldn't be surprised if on that Lakers team, Bronny James or some of these other guys that we haven't seen be real active or, get the most light, just all of a sudden come alive. They just show, just some rising of the Phoenix, just, here I come. I mean, here I am. Pause, just to make this happen and get it done, right? There's going to be some fighting and scrapping like never before. Some dog fights, some punches, haymakers. This is going to be serious. Because I know that Victor Wembanyama and this 62-19 San Antonio Spurs team, they're looking to get for real, and they're looking to go in there and bang and bash. They going for a championship, y'all. That's their goal. Why do you think Victor Wembanyama, the guy was hurt, but he came out yesterday and played just to reach 65 games accomplished for the year out of 82 to be eligible for an award and to move on. So I'm betting on Wembanyama and these guys to do them. Second round business, conference finals. Conference finals are going to look real special, real gruesome. Because this LA Laker team, I think they're going to give the Houston Rockets real problems. LeBron James versus Kevin Durant. This is exactly what LeBron James needed to kind of get the ball rolling and to kind of get some kind of formation or to set a pace. Because him and Kevin Durant, they're kind of right there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, I want to say pace and what they're bringing. LeBron is still up there playing at a high level. KD's playing at a high level. And they both have teams driven right here. They're still not the guys that they used to be. But these guys are still playing at a high level. And this is what's going to be the determining factor with their supporting cast. The Lakers are still with no Luka Doncic right now. However, we know that they have a team that can move with DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reeves, and LeBron has backup. He's got backup. He's got a team there. This Rockets team, Kevin Durant, Alperen Sengun, Amir Thompson, he been doing him. Amir Thompson, I think he had 41 last night, something like that. This guy's putting up numbers. So Durant has a team over there, and Ime Udoka is going to have these dudes ready to go, reminding them what the mission is over here in Houston, and they're just going to be at it. They're going to be at it, y'all. So I see Thunder playing Warriors, and the Suns are going to lose to the Trailblazers, and the Trailblazers are going to play the Spurs in the first round. Which I see the Spurs winning against the Trailblazers, and the Denver Nuggets, they're in the dogfight with the Minnesota Timberwolves for like the third year in a row. Anthony Edwards, this guy's going to give them problems. He's going to be ready. And, Julius Randle, this team over here in Minnesota is just something else. They got a lot of life to them over here, for real. Najee is going to be, Najee's going to, live up to the fight because they got that dog in them over there in Minnesota. They really for real about it. That was a mean game they had against Durant last night. Oh yeah, Anthony Edwards is on it. So I do see the Nuggets potentially getting past the Warriors, but with Anthony Edwards, you're gonna have a tough time trying to see how it's gonna go unless you see the first game or two because they can swing the momentum. That's gonna be a tough one. We're gonna get more into that during the week or throughout this playoffs. We're going to be keeping you informed. But I do see Denver stepping up their pace, and the Joker and Murray are on their job right now. Okay, so there you have it. That's the NBA playoffs, y'all. We're going to keep you listed, keep you updated, keep you posted, keep you into it. Don Boy 718, we love y'all. Thanks for everybody for listening and watching. If you watched us and checking us out, that means you're a winner because we only deal with winners. You know what I'm saying? We bring you up out the dirt and go you all the way up to the clouds and even better. You know what I'm saying? We build winners like trees. Take you from a seed and then build you to a whole foundation. You make something out of you. You know what I mean? Tell everybody you know, check out our show. A lot of love and great blessings. We on Newtown Radio on Saturday mornings, and the rest of the week, we on location or throughout the city, different places. The golf world has also started too. Golf world, right? But I would rather remind you all about some of these NBA awards that are potentially available for players. Okay, now we're going to start off this one with All NBA First Team. And I'm thinking that this may go down to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Jaylen Brown. This is what's being predicted here. This is what's being put out here. Second team, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, Tyrese Maxey, and Chet Holmgren. And third NBA team, finally, Jalen Duren of the Pistons, Jamal Murray of the Nuggets, Jalen Brunson of the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns of the Knicks, and LaMelo Ball of the Hornets. So this is special. This is going to be great to check out. An all-defensive team, you could have Victor Wembanyama, of course, because Victor Wembanyama, this is the reason why he went back and played that game yesterday, because it was very important to make 65. He believes that he's going to be the defensive player of the year, and he has a real good argument for that, and the people know it. We've been following the sport and seeing what's going on with these guys. So you have Victor Wembanyama on the first team or defensive squad, Chet Holmgren, Osar Thompson from the Pistons, Rudy Gobert from the Timberwolves, and Derek White from the Celtics. Second team, you know, Scotty Barnes from the Raptors. Scotty Barnes, and these dudes are going to try to bring it to the Knicks and RJ Barrett and try to cause some rupture and confusion, but I think the Knicks had the team built to be able to run past this. This should be just a warm-up or a test at least, and we need to really go out there and be superior. The New York Knicks, go out there and warm up, go out there and play and stay steady. Team basketball. We can do this. OG Anunoby, second team, Stephon Castle, Bam Adebayo, and Kason Wallace for the OKC Thunder. And your all-rookie team, Con Canupo for the Hornets, Cooper Flagg for the Mavericks, VJ Edgecombe for the 76ers, Dylan Harper for the Spurs, and Colin Murray Boyles from the Toronto Raptors. So this should be a real good special NBA playoffs. And these awards, they usually award the awards later on in the year or sometime afterwards. So they want to get to this and make sure that it's really, you know, something that's important and something that they really thought out well, and they got the right people in there getting these awards and being, you know, respected or highlighted. You feel me? So blessings to that. We're going to take a quick break. Get back to you.